I will record.
There we
Recording
go.
in progress. Okay, well, I'll start and then if Alan joins us, Alan joins us. Okay, I think I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna share my screen again. So Airdrie, I've got multiple layers there. And you can see that layer 1 is highlighted. So that's the one that we're on. And that's this one. And all I'm going to do is left click on it. I'm sorry, you have to have the move tool up here in the upper left.
Right.
Once you're on the move tool, then I can just move it.
Okay.
So whatever's highlighted, it's highlighted there, but you want to click on it and move it on your screen.
Okay. So you have to click on the object, not the layer.
Yeah, you click on the layer to pick what you want to move. So now I'm going
Right.
to move the musical note. So I just clicked on that and then
Okay.
now I can move it.
Okay.
So
So I think I was clicking on the whole layer instead of the picture.
Yeah, it could be.
Cool. Thank you.
to move one of the lines, do you have to click exactly on the line with the, or is there another way to
No,
capture it?
well, the lines before were on separate layers. Now I merged them together onto one layer, but all you do is you click on that. And then now I can move the lines. Or here's a really handy thing that everyone needs to know is to see this history panel.
Oh, yeah.
Click on the history panel and it'll show you the things you did. See here, it says merge layers. Well, I'm going to type on the one, click on the one above it. And now when I go back to the layer panel here, all those lines are now separate again. So I merged them and I just unmerged them. And I keep in my history, because I do complicated things, I have 100 levels of
Okay.
you could set that up in preferences. I think the default is like 20.
25 or so.
Yeah, maybe. But now, Will, to answer your question, I'm going to click on line 3 copy, which is actually the bottom line. And then I come over here and I don't have to click exactly on it. Anywhere near it, I can click on and I can move it. You see how my cursor's kind of,
Yeah, that was my question. Does you have to be precise or just close?
no, just close. And I'm going to hit Control Z and it puts it back where I originally had it.
Right. Thanks.
This goes to show that I was always right, saying that Photoshop is a lot like hand grenades.
That's right. Close counts
Counts.
in this. So there's it's Photoshop is as I've told my Photoshop group, it's a vast program. It's enormous. And there are tons and tons of hidden things. So remember I told you, if you right click on a layer, it'll now give you all these things that you can do. Well, who told you you could right click on it and get all these things? They don't tell you that. Even in the classes. Now, I'm mostly self-taught. I went to 2 one-hour seminars on Photoshop. But I had friends that use Photoshop and I've been doing it for 20 years. So that's kind of where it all came from. And then don't forget, I'm on layer 1 here. I can double click on that. And now it gives me these other things I can do. I can put a stroke around her. You see, you may not be able to see it, but I'll put.
How did it know to put the stroke around her?
Because I chose her layer.
Oh, got it.
And then I clicked stroke and it put a stroke around her layer. So don't think about this, that the thing we fall into, all of us, and when I started, is I looked at it as a total image, but it's not a total image, it's pieces. It's pieces that are stacked up on top of each other. And that's what you always have to keep in mind.
There's lots of documentation about Photoshop. Do you know of a book that is specifically Photoshop basic operations for photographers?
I'll bet you there is. And actually one of the links I'm going to send you, the video link, is a guy, Andrew Martinelli, or I can't remember, he's an Italian guy. Well, his name's Italian. He does an online course that's free that takes you from basics all the way through many, many steps
With a focus on photography or graphic arts?
on photography. So that's a key element. Now, one thing he says, though, which I don't agree with, is see the word window up here? I'm going to click on the word window. And then it says workspace is the second thing. And I'm set up for Photoshop Essentials. And that's important to me because I use text in Photoshop images in my work sometimes. And so that's important. If you are strictly using it for photography, you come down here and you click on the photography button. And what that does is it's going to change your tools somewhat. And it's going to change your workspace. It's going to give you a histogram up here. You still have your layers, but it's going to give you different choices over here. So I'm going to go back and change my workspace so I don't forget to Essentials. And that's why I use that one, but you could use a different one and it will simplify your tools a little bit as well. It'll get rid of some of the stuff that I use that you would never use. So do you think this was pretty cool?
Yeah.
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 I didn't grok what caused the other image to appear only inside the text.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that either.
Okay. So let's go to my history. And we'll go back to when we opened it up, and we'll go back to layers. Okay, so there's that image.
Yeah.
And I'll put it in the background so you can see it. So here's what's going to happen. I'll repeat that. So I'm going to take this selection tool, the square. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select part of the type because I'm on the type layer right now. So Mr. Spock and his three-dimensional chess, that's what we're playing right now on a simplistic scale. But so I selected that, then I come back and I say select similar. And it's going to select all of that type.
Does similar refer always only to color, or does it refer to other attributes as well?
Anything you want to try. But if you, let's answer that question right now. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to go to this layer of the photograph. And I'm going to say select similar to the cloud in the blue sky there. And it's going to try, but it's going to fail. So it has to be fairly consistent color is what it's looking for.
But what if you selected a face out of a group and said select similar? Would it get all the faces?
No.
Okay.
You can do that though by that select subject. So that's a different class. So I'm going to go back to my type layer.
Yeah, and the selection was just on that layer. So when you did the selection in the image, the fact that, you know, maybe some of the text was similar had no bearing because
Had no bearing because it's on a different
Yeah.
layer. It doesn't
different
care.
layer.
doesn't care diddly about that other
Yeah.
layer, only cares about its layer. Okay, so I did it there on good night. And what I'm going to do by clicking on layer 1 is my selection is no longer on the type. My
Okay,
selection is now on the photograph behind the type,
Mhm.
believe it or
Still
not.
got wiggly lines around the text.
But it's not
March.
really there. Watch, I'm going to turn off.
turn on, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Now
Yeah.
what do you see?
Wiggly
You've got the
line.
dancing ants around the
Right,
photograph.
marching ants.
You
And now what
got
I'm
that?
doing,
Did you get that by just changing layers, or didn't you do an inverse step or something?
well, in order to get the type only inside of the dancing ants, I'm going to have to do, you're right. I'm going to select, and I'm going to select the inverse, which is up here. Now it's select everything except for where the dancing ants were. And then I'm going to say delete. And there we are.
Where did you say delete?
I just clicked off of it. I hit my delete on my key and my keyboard in order to get
Oh,
rest of the image gone. No, there's no special delete key or anything,
right.
just your keyboard.
Ah. So you
I-
deleted everything in that layer, which was not, which was selected. Yeah, okay, leaving,
Right.
yeah. Okay, got that.
Want me to do it one more time? No? We're okay.
Yeah.
And I can put back the yellow if I want to, but obviously this is the effect I was going for.
Right.
And I do this all the time with like birthday cards for my kids, and I'll take pictures of when they were little, or I'll do for friends, I'll do special images that mean something to them, and I'll put words in there. So anyway, it's a fun thing to know. Any more thoughts about this one? You guys got what I was doing there?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to show you one more and then that'll be it. Let's see. So this is an image I did in black and white. I actually changed it to black and white. But the key with this is that you can see that there's some flowers around her. But this is the actual image that I started with. And then I'm going to show you that's what I ended up with.
Nice.
I've cloned all of this. So I'm going to do a cloning class. I cloned all of this and then I cropped her. Image crop like that. And then I changed it to black and white, and that's what I submitted for my image. So we'll do a class on cloning because it's fairly straightforward, but fairly not straightforward.
Straightforward for an expert.
Yeah. But that's the before and that's the after.
Oh, okay.
Show
Right.
that, toggle that again.
Before,
Oh, okay.
after.
Uh-huh.
What did
Much
you
better.
do to add flowers?
I added flowers. I
Oh, is that a
cloned.
Photoshop function, add flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please add alyssum flowers to sides of girl's head. You have to be very explicit.
Hello, computer.
But by cloning, cloning isn't perfect for everything you want to do, but it is tremendous for many things. Now, of course, if you do that, you no longer, you can't use photojournalism or nature, of course, you have to be in pictorial. But I was in pictorial black and white because I changed it to black and white. But all right, any other questions? Comments?
No,
Thank you, thank you.
this is cool.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
And-
Eric.
And Tim, I'll
Yeah,
see
thank
you
you.
tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you all for coming.
Thank
Great,
you.
thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Right.
Take care.